Hello, Pisces. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. Yeah, I already have it on. Main read is going to be with the Star Tarot by Kathy McLeland. There's a website for Kathy McLeland if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by, I was going to say Belinda Grace. Yes, Belinda Grace. Excellent. Illustrated by Elaine Marzin. Rockpoolpublishing.com is on the back here if you're interested. Okay, let's see what we got here. Holding something close to your heart. Okay. You got the Ten of Cups, trying to push out with the Prince of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. There's something upsetting. So there is definitely something upsetting, but like, where's the context of it? Oh, that's a weird connection. So some type of community thing. These two together, this is what I'm looking at. But I'm just like, maybe because I am a Pisces, it's just kind of like some total devastation and being okay. So like an example of this is like being thankful that you were a part of something while it existed. For example, I had to let my dogs go last year, and that was hard. But I remember getting to that point going, I was thankful that they were in my life. I'd rather have had them and gone through the grieving than not have had them and never had all the joy that I had with them, if you know what I mean. That's I use some game dice here. I'm gonna use some because I sometimes can hone in on things a little bit closer because it's bothering me, and I'm like, oh. Ten of Swords, like anybody who knows what the Ten of Swords mean usually does not like seeing it. Seven of Cups, which is the dreams, and the 17 of the major arcana, which is the Star. Something really good is going to come out of this situation. Something is going into a bad moment, but something really good is coming from it. And the trick is to not hold on to the pain too long. The grieving process, because I feel like the grieving process is going to come in some respect. This could be a work situation. Maybe you're missing out on it's almost like losing a contract, or could be changing jobs and not really wanting to, or a company shuts down. It could be losing somebody. Could be losing an animal. I don't know. There's like, I'm getting like a cycle of things. It's definitely something like, the sooner you accept that it's gone and kind of try to get into that energy of like, now something else can come in, the easier this goes. I'm not saying like you're not going to be upset, but like trying to like kind of like trying to accept it. I don't know. I think of Paul McKenna when I think of these things, because there's a book, How to Mend Your Broken Heart. It is geared towards romantic relationships, I believe. I haven't read it in a while, but I still use the exercises, and it brings down the energy, helps you see what you need to do, and just kind of helps you go through it. It's almost like if you had an acre field and you were trying to have like an egg hunt or like a treasure hunt. It's kind of like the metal detector that would help you find what you need to go, where you need to go, and when you're closer to something. It's kind of like that. Whatever it is, you definitely have to put a lot of work in. It's just you got to be careful not to work against yourself. Like, don't try to hold yourself kind of like, it's kind of like when you go into that what if this had only, I wish that, I wish this, I wish these other things. It's kind of moving yourself into the perspective of like, now that this is where I need to go. Now that this happened, this is where I need to go next. And just trying to gently get yourself to go there. Because whatever it is, you're going to be putting a lot of effort into like the correction of this situation. It's just, the trick is to not put it in, not to like do it in a way that keeps holding you to the past but kind of puts you towards the future. So for example, if you lost a job, not trying to find a way to return to that situation or a situation like it, but trying to look forward to like, all right, now that that's over, what else can I do? What else am I qualified for? Where else do I want to go? Maybe I'm not qualified for something. Maybe I used to be in like food service and now I want to go to art. So how do I get into art? How do I get into art in a way that I can make money and make a living? Like, this is where I was, where can I go? Maybe I used to be in management, maybe I don't want to be anymore. Maybe I want to be more, working on my own by myself. How do I find something like that? Where does that work for me? Stuff like that. Instead of trying to go back to, I think this is what I'm missing. Instead of trying to like keep something and kind of like, well, that's what I'm supposed to do. For example, if you had a job in management and you're like, well, that's what I always do. That's what I need to do. That's what I'm supposed to do. But if you don't like it, it seems like I've come across a lot of people like that they end up in management. They go from management job to management job, but they don't really like it. So it's kind of like, how do I get out of that and still be happy with my life? How do I stop doing those jobs? What else can I be hired for? What else can I do without having to maybe deal with people? Or maybe that's the trick. Maybe they don't want to manage people. They rather manage something else. Maybe managing finances without actually having to manage people. Because possibilities are coming in. Once you start moving towards the direction you want to go in, kind of like that's where it's almost like this is where I'm expected to be, but I don't want to be there. So if I start looking a different direction, like I don't want to be where I'm expected to be, I want to go in another direction. Like, how do I do that? I'm actually going to do the dice thing again here. They're just game dice, but they match up pretty well. The Magician and the 10 of Wands. So it's going to be a stressful but successful move forward. You have to make this choice to move forward. Whatever's leaving, something else is opening up a new opportunity. And you just got to, I feel like that's the thing. You just kind of like, well, this is where I've been. This is where I'm expected to be. That aside, where do I want to be? And then every day, even if it's a small step forward, even if it's just kind of like looking something up on the internet, just trying to like step forward. For example, if you wanted to change vocations, start like looking at, okay, I want to do something in art. Start looking through what jobs are currently making money in art today. When you find a couple you think look interesting, every day just do a little piece. Just like, let's research more about what do those people actually do. Do they need a degree? Where did they get their training? How did they get these jobs? What type of money do they make? Stuff like that. What type of places are offering these jobs? Do you have to work somewhere close to them? Can you do it remotely? Stuff like that. And then like, okay, so it needs education. What type? Where is this available? Can you do it online? Do you have to be there in person? What do you have to do? Stuff like that. With art, I don't know. It seems like art you'd have to be in person, but I don't know. I don't know if you. I guess you could do that distance learning. I don't know. It seems like that would be hard, but harder. I don't know why we're going there, but is that good? Okay, we're good. You have the opportunity to move your life in a different direction. It's almost like you could probably argue, like, don't you mostly, isn't every day like that? You probably could argue that. It's just kind of like some days it's easier than others. It's kind of like if you want to have a picnic outside, when it's sunny and nice and beautiful out, it's really easy to do that. When it's cold and wet and snowy, not the easiest time to do that. You could technically do it. But this is kind of like, this is your sunny day to create your picnic in a sense. If you want this to go, if you really want this to happen, this is going to be when things are mostly in your favor to make this change. I feel like that's obvious. I feel like that's easy, but that's what I'm saying. Because if you start stepping forward, you just got to dedicate yourself to it, especially if you create a pattern. For some of you, I know I said like the daily thing, but you can make it a weekly thing. Once a week, a certain time every week, you just set it this time aside. You make yourself just research a little more in the direction you want to go. Even if it's once a week, especially if it's in the morning for some of you, I feel like those that will go. Try it in the morning. If you're going to do that and you're going to try it in the morning. If you're going to do it once a week. A day that you're happy, a day that was good for you, give yourself, I would say, 15 minutes at least, no more than an hour, and regulate it that way. If that's what you need to do, because you're like, I don't really know if I want to do this, or I don't really know how far I want to go with that. That might actually help you decide what you really want and help you start going in the right direction. because I'm seeing like something really good is there, but you got to go get it. I feel like you were supposed to be the Knight of Cups. Kind of like, I know what that cup is, I know what I want, now I got to start moving towards it. And now I got to, but the thing is, for a lot of you, I feel like the hard part of this reading is like, well, what is this? I got to discover my cup. I got to discover my cup before I can go get my cup. And I feel like this is a moment where things are really hard, something's really changing. It brings you back to like square one, but it's kind of like, now that you're at square one, where you've been, what is where you've been versus where you'd rather be? Where would you want to be? If there was no restraints on you, where would you want to be? And then just looking at possibilities. Who knows if you'll get exactly where you want to be? I don't know why we're saying that, other than you may not end up exactly where you want to be, but you may find something on the search that works out a lot better than where you've been. Anything else for that? Because I see action coming in. I see long-term action. All these cards coming together. Good things, long-term action, but it's kind of like I got to find my cup. Once I find my cup, I'll move forward, and then it's just like you don't have to have it all done in a day. The last thing I want to pull into this is like for some of you, for example, if it's schooling, you don't have to do it like all in like one day, or you don't have to do it like the normal semester. You could probably break it up and take a couple classes here, a couple classes there as it works for you. I would just recommend, seeing what you can do with it. Like sometimes there's certain vocations where you can start learning things and you can start applying them sooner rather than later. So it's kind of like looking at it that way, if that helps. Even if you don't have the degree, you could still start applying things. I don't know. For some people, it seems like that'll make sense as you search out your cup. All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day.